this is Archive of Death coming at you with my first ever review, and today we are looking at the Daban Tallgeese 2. Now, taking a quick look around, you can see basically this is fully out of box. Painted a little bit of detail here, and then on the yellow, I didn't like the yellow that came out of box, so I repainted that. Added these little red details under the eyes, painted the eyes, and then did the detail of the mohawk. So basically, this is actually a pretty good kit overall. Fairly solid. It's a little bit loose, but not much looser than the actual Bandai one. Well, at least the Bandai Tallgeese one I can compare to. So, articulation is the same as the Bandai Tallgeese one. Head rotates around, goes up and down. This is a little loose, the mohawk and such, but it's pretty easy to get back on. Arms. Swivel around. This joint is the loosest on the kit, and fortunately it's not that structural, so it's not needed. Goes out. You can bend this down to get a little bit more. This elbow joint I did have to glue, but to be fair, I had to do that on my Bandai Tallgeese 1, so I'm not really holding that against this kit. Elbow gets that nice bend with the nice little detail. Thumb moves on a ball joint, and the wrist can move, etc. It's a wing kit, you know those hands. Double jointed waist, rotates. Front skirt moves, doesn't really need to. Side skirts are locked into the legs. Back skirts can move open and close. This is pretty easy to come off, but once it's on, if you leave it alone, it stays. Legs, locked with these, can go forward and back, in and out, and this whole mechanism works very well on this kit. Knee bends. I've had a little bit of an issue with this knee. This hydraulic-ish part popped out on me a couple times, but as long as I hold this together and bend it, it's fine. Ankles swivel and toes bend. And then the gimmick is the backpack. This is a little tighter than the Bandai kit, but it all still functions. So pull this open, and those open up. This all works. I'm very happy with that. And then move this in, that thruster comes out. Works on both sides. And yeah, I am very pleased with that. Kind of wish I did a better paint job on these, but I'm okay with it for now. So that's the basic articulation. Oh yeah, cockpit opens. Yeah, you can see a itty bitty pilot in there. So, what does this kit come with, accessory-wise? Well, first off, you've got your action-based connector. Haven't tried this out yet, actually, but it's exactly the same as the other wing ones. It's a wing kit, so you get all of the, multitude of hands, whatever you need it to do. I've got the important ones attached to the kit already. Let's do that position. I think that'll work better. Unlike the Tallgeese one, you get two pilots with this, and honestly, the detail on these is pretty terrible. They're out of focus and fuzzy on my camera right now, but they're not much better in real life. I can't tell who these are, honestly. I could look it up and figure it out, and I'm sure you can do that as well. But for the life of me, I can't tell who those are. This kit does come with beam sabers, so you get two handles, two blades. This connection here is a little tight, but it works decently well. And then getting it off is a little bit of a chore. Beam sabers connect into the shield, which in the back, just like Tallgeese 1. And I really do like the design for the decals for this. The decals on this whole kit. I've had trouble with water slides in the past from Bandai. These work really well. I was pleasantly surprised. These go on much better than a Bandai kit does, and I have yet to have a single thing flake. There might be one decal or two where I didn't apply enough water and there's a little hint of a bubble, but I'm fairly confident it's my fault. Well, he just does not like standing up. So, just like the Tallgeese one, open up that little panel there. We can plug this guy in. These polycaps were really difficult to get in the first time, which is true of basically this whole kit. Once you get the polycap in, I say as it refuses to cooperate, because I'm shooting a video, and of course, everything refuses to cooperate when you have a camera in front of you. But yeah, once it's in, pretty decent. I'll pop this guy back on, and there you go. He holds it just fine. There's, I mean, a little bit of a weight issue, but not really, not as much as the Dober gun. The Dober gun does cause some weight issues, but it does cause that on the Tallgeese one as well. Backing this guy up a little bit. Can tilt the camera up so you can see it a little bit better. There we go. Hopefully it should stay. And then we've got the Dober gun. This does have that spring gimmick, but unfortunately there's just something in here. I spent a good 15 minutes trying to figure this out, but something is jamming this up. But it does go in and out. And yeah, it's fine. And then the Tallgeese 2 exclusive is you just take this here piece, pull it out, put this back in, and that significantly shortens the gun. So you can just stand it up, which if you get it at the right angle, it just stands on its own. And then you can have him... Nothing works when you're shooting a review, I'm learning. The things you learn the first time you use YouTube. Have him hold it up. And yeah, it's that pose that everyone loves with Tallgeese 2. It's pretty easy to do, especially if you have an even surface. This is a little bit uneven, so that's why he's having trouble standing. Alright. Putting him back. Maybe he'll cooperate if I treat it nicely. There we go. Alright, so taking the Dober gun. This is pretty loose when you don't have this part in here. It stays not at all. I gotta stop touching him, really. Maybe if I lean him. Yeah, that'll help. Yeah, it's very loose, which is unfortunate, but once you put this back in, pop it in, the correct orientation. Gotta be a little careful, but yeah, there we go. And I don't know why that doesn't work, it just refuses to. That goes into the shoulder just like with the shield. Got the trigger finger installed, so I'm gonna pop this hand out. And you know, this actually is really uncooperative even on my Bandai kit. So the fact that he's able to even attempt to hold this as a knockoff, and I dropped the hand and now I can't tell which one it is. As a knockoff, being able to hold this gun I actually consider fairly impressive. The Dober gun itself is not the best design that Bandai's ever had. I'm just going to hold him there, take his arm off, because it's going to make my life so much better, and do this behind the camera. So I'm going to talk just a little bit for a second, and hopefully keep you guys entertained as I do this, because unfortunately knockoff model kits are even less cooperative than standard model kits. So we will just put this back. You can see the polycap is this weird black color, unlike the normal. It's a little bit darker. That's the best way I can explain it. I don't know if that's Tallgeese 2 or just their process, but yeah, he holds it fairly well. It's a wing kit. He's never going to drop it unless you want him to. And then you can hook it into the shoulder, which is an enormous pain on any Tallgeese. So, that would be it if you got this through Bandai. It's an online exclusive worth $90, and it does look really nice. But Daban has included some other gifts, if you will, to kind of make up for the fact that you're getting a knockoff. They have included this axe, and this is straight out of the box what it looks like. And then you also get another one in blue. Now this one I did a little bit of detailing on. I mean, I literally did this right before filming. It needs a little bit of touching up. But just to give you an idea of what it can look like with a little bit of care. And then, so it's got the same wing hole for the hands in it. They are a little bit missized, I guess would be the best way to put it. But, so it takes a little force to get it in the first time. Insert joke here about that. But once it's in, it's in. It may stress the plastic, it really just depends on it. But yeah, it holds it. But this looks silly. Fortunately, you can take this off. And the way this guy is built, I'm not even using the thumb. If you take the white section here off and not cooperating because I'm filming, let's take a knife to it. Something about cutting room floor here. Pop that off if it ever does. Wow! Put it back on. This is actually directional, but easy enough to line up if you can see it. But yeah, holds it. This is a big axe, by the way. I mean, here is basically full extension, no problem holding it up, and it is way taller than the like tilting the camera up a little bit. Yeah. I heard someone describe that as a halberd, and I believe it. That is a big weapon. So, backing this off, you can see, stressed it a little bit. You might not even be able to see that in this light. But yeah, so, again, two of those. Pretty nice weapons. And then the other thing you get is this really, really huge spear. Also, I mean, it's taller than him. It's huge. I don't understand really why it's so large, but it's a pretty big weapon. Now this confuses me. This is clearly made to plug into something. There's nothing on this kit it plugs into. So either this was stolen or Daban was thinking way ahead of the game in making this. This too plugs in, same hand, same hole. Little bit tougher than the last one, it really just depends on which one. But holds it. It is freaking heavy. It's weighing the kit down. But you can see that is a big spear. It is about the height of my laptop. And Tallgeese is not that big of a kit. So, and leaving that in, we've got another one of those. This one's got blue. Little bit of detail work just to show that there is stuff you can bring out. Yeah, those are the weapons. So, that is the Tallgeese 2. Quick comparisons. Backing him up. He will stand. I promise he'll stand. We have the Bandai Tallgeese 1. Now, you can see the color difference is fairly drastic. It doesn't actually look like the same suit. It really does look like an evolution, which it is, and I appreciate that. One thing that you will not be able to see on camera, you can barely see it in person, where this guy has yellow trim, it appears that this is just the same blue, but it is actually a very slightly different blue. Which I like. I wish it was a bit better, but you know what? That's out of the box. And final height comparison is with a standard Gundam, the G3, who I believe I will review next. Alright guys, thank you for watching my first review. I really appreciate it. Feel free to leave a comment below. Tell me what I did wrong, because I know I did something wrong. This has been Archive of Death. Thanks. Bye.